Show number 29.
This Otaku's Life.
There have been many times where I have overreacted to, well, just about anything. As I've gotten older, I've learned to discipline myself and control how I respond to things, whether they're external to me or whether I'm internally struggling with something. Of course, these things are always based on a cause and effect. They come from something someone says to me, whether I know them or not, whether I would take it personal or not, or maybe something that occurs at work. Sometimes I think we all feel for others or understand an issue so intimately that we can relate when another person has a problem. So when I was younger, I certainly would take things a lot more personally, and as I grew up, I learned not to do that, because the world doesn't specifically revolve around me. And again, these are things that we learn as we get older. We go from a perspective of being taken care of and embracing responsibility and finding our own identity and finding our place in the world. So as time has gone on, I've learned to not react. I might be responding to something internally, but I've learned how to stay calm externally, on the surface, and how I react to others. By doing this has given me balance, and it's allowed me to not take things personally. Now, when I drive, I think we all get some sense of road rage, whether we're the passenger or whether we're the driver. When someone cuts you off, when they're irresponsible on the road, and you're directly affected by this, it's not hard to take that personally. Not every driver is intentionally being inconsiderate. And so, when I'm contained in my car alone, I have no problem having my road rage and commenting out loud. But it's all for fun. It's my way of releasing a little tiny bit of stress, and ultimately, it doesn't hurt anybody. So having a reaction to something, well, that's natural, but we don't always have to externalize it. Thank you, everyone, once again for continuing to listen and download. You guys are awesome, and I appreciate the contributions, and I appreciate, well, the numbers. Downloading is a way that you are showing me that you're listening and you want me to continue on this path, this project, this effort. But you can also show your love a whole bunch of ways, and I got two in mind, and I've always talked about them. Show IDs. All we would ask you to do is record and send us some audio and say, "This Otaku's Life," with pauses in between, and then we will cut those parts up and we'll create new show IDs so there's more variety at the beginning of every podcast. Second thing you can do is contribute a story or an idea, a concept that you want to hear your voice on this show, and share something we've already talked about, or, as I mentioned, a new idea. It's really easy. As I mentioned before, just record some audio and email it to us at thisotakuslife@gmail.com. And if you're interested, you can also follow us on Twitter at thisotakuslife. And if by chance you got to this podcast without going to the website, well, we have one of those as well, and that is thisotakuslife.com. Thank you once again, everyone, for continuing to listen and download and contribute. And until next week, everyone, have a good one.